Alright, starting back up here, Assassin's Creed 3. We're going to be doing Oak Island here. And that's the final Captain Kidd treasure. Oak Island, 1777.
I'm a little on edge, Captain. The prospect of Captain Kidd's treasure and the mysteries that lie with it have me a trifle spooked.
Stay your anxiety. It is likely only treasure.
I thought the same thing, but considering what the man went through to hide it, I'm not so sure. All those scrolls lead us to the belly of this remote island. Awful out of the way, Captain. What was Kidd hiding, for cripe's sake?
I do not know, but I am intrigued to find out.
Remember what was written.
Oak Island. Oak Island is in Mahone Bay on the eastern shore of Canada. The island features prominently in local pirate legends. It seems the secret treasure Kidd buried here didn't remain as secret as he would have liked, which of course was very secret, hence the secret. Treasure hunts first began in 1795. A local teenager spotted a tree with rope burns and a nearby depression in the ground, which he thought was a sure sign of something had been lowered into a pit. He and some friends started to dig, but quickly got beyond their depth and resolved to come back with better tools. Subsequent digs have happened in 1803, 61, 66, 93, 1909, and 1931. Well, you get the idea. But nothing's ever been found. 6 people have died hunting for those supposed treasures. Over the years, theories about the origin of the money pit have been abundant. It's nothing more than a sinkhole. Treasure was left in the pit either by William Kidd or the Freemasons or the Templars. Here's my personal favorite. Francis Bacon used the pit to store the original documents proving that he wrote the works of William Shakespeare. I'm almost sorry that one isn't true. Or is it? No, it's not.
Close to a tree kissed by fire, near the wolf's abode, under the eagle's bed and the rock that does not fit. Whatever that means. Do you think there might be landmarks?
Possibly.
Well, this tree is pretty bright. It's a little dark, nothing growing on it. I don't know if it was ever on fire. Can't really tell. But we'll assume that this is the tree, and we'll attempt to climb it here.
You might want to have a look around here for an eagle's nest.
I mean, the tree probably would stay here for a while, but, I mean, it's eventually going to decompose. Using trees and things like that as landmarks probably isn't a great idea.
Got it.
Unless you want your treasure to be found quickly. Alright, so I guess we're supposed to align...
A different way. Perhaps if I use the trees as
there we
reference.
go. Okay, so we can move the whole thing. So I'm thinking, okay, those 3 are the trees.
Done.
Perfect, okay, and X marks the spot, I would assume. Let's go find out. Okay, it appears there's something here on this rock.
There.
Okay, here, let's do this again. There's 2... Okay... Oh, okay, there's 3 of them there.
Got it.
Perfect. X marks the spot on that one, I guess? Or are we just doing this just to do it? There appears to be 2 more. Okay, up on top of these rocks here.
That is it.
Yeah, these little rock formation deals, these stacks of rocks, were made by people, but also they're easy enough to tip over. That one doesn't even have an X. Oh, it is. It's just in the water there. Alright, one more. Let's see what we got going here. If we solve it in less than 2 minutes, then we get the optional objective completed as well.
That is it. A different way. Perhaps if I use the trees as reference. There.
That's ridiculous, and how are you gonna see it?
I know where it is.
How in the... You figured it out? Well, that's why you're the captain.
Just in time, too, I guess. Alright, here we are. Let's see.
Bloody wolves on us, captain!
It's an ambush. I bet kids set this up too. Oh my gosh, what the heck? I can't just kill them. What in the world? These guys are like ridiculous compared to the other ones. The other wolves I can just kill. These ones, there's something special about these wolves. Running around didn't necessarily help me, but okay, this worked out. There's one down. Mr. Faulkner, I hope you're alright. Death. Okay, there's 2. One more. Come on. Oh, come on. You're going down. He's the alpha, probably. And you die. Ugh.
Yama.
Where are the other 2? I'm gonna skin them. There's one.
Yama.
Where's the 3rd one? Come on, I know I killed you up here somewhere. Oh, maybe not. You? Yeah, you're done. That's what you get.
That's a bloody big piece of stone. Any ideas?
Perhaps some gunpowder would move it.
A nice big explosion, eh? Might do the job. Will do well to scare away any more blasted wolves, that's for certain.
Perfect. Powder.
That ought to be enough.
Good. Let's blow this rock.
Get in there, sir.
I had no idea what was down there, and I only saw the water at the very last second, so... yeah. Okay, diving when I don't actually have to. Let's see here. What kind of a... oh, it's a collapsing cave because we used explosives. We have a whole crew. We can't dig it up. I guess in their defense, if they got nothing out of this, they'd probably be pretty mad. It's pretty bright in here, though. There's some sort of crystals up on the ceiling. Kind of wondering what that is. Probably just a salt mine. It's funny that we have salt mines. We can just get it from the ocean. Which we do. We get sea salt. Not saying that we don't. Oopsie daisy. Alright. Yeah, some sort of big crystals in there. Right, what do we got here?
This is what Captain Kidd suffered over for so long. Astonishing.
Yep, I kind of saw that coming. There's treasure in here. Alright. Well, I'm no pirate, but I'll tell my boys about the treasure. They'll have to dig it out. Made it.
There he is. Thought we lost you there for a moment, Captain. Are you all right?
Yes, I think so.
What happened down there? What did you find? That's it? A single gold coin? There was nothing else? Was the cash pilfered already? Ah! What the devil?
I do not know how it works, but I now understand why Kidd valued it so.
I guess I can get behind that. Like, if you had a ring like that, you could stop bullets or something like that. Anybody who has weapons on them.
That's a curious little piece, isn't it? Well, I've worked my incredible and bottomless magic, and that little thing is in fact of first civilization origin. It seems they use them as personal shields. It gives off a rather powerful electromagnetic field, explains its aversion to metal, also explains why Kidd's legend tells of him being invincible. Having that trinket in your pocket would easily bend a musket ball's trajectory. Nifty little thing, really. Anyway, just thought you want to know. Please do carry on.
I feel like the developers were a little lazy on this one. For the subtitles, they'll put Connor's name when somebody's speaking that's not Connor, or they'll say Desmond's name. There's misspellings, there's grammatical errors, there's... you can forgive one or two, but this is a lot. Alright, alternative methods. Let's get started.
We need to know what the Loyalists are planning, if we're to put an end to this.
I've tried, but the soldiers themselves are told nothing now, only to await orders from above.
Keep digging. Come find me when you have something worth sharing. We're so close to victory. A few more well-placed attacks and we'll be able to put an end to the Civil War and be rid of the crown.
What do you intend?
Well, nothing at the moment, since we're completely in the dark.
I thought the Templars had eyes and ears everywhere.
Oh, we did. Until you started cutting them off.
Your contact said orders from above. It tells us exactly what we need to do. Track down the Loyalist commanders.
And we're starting at the Bowling Green. This was one of New York's first public parks. Established in 1733 by local landlords, so people living in the area would have a place to walk, bowl, and get away from the noise of the city. Since it's meant as a quiet park, there wouldn't be much more to tell except that a statue of King George III was placed here in 1770, commissioned to celebrate the repeal of the Stamp Act. In 71, a wrought iron fence was added around the park, possibly to keep malcontents from vandalizing the statue. In 76, rebels stormed the park, tore down the statue, and hacked it to pieces. The reason for the attack: they'd just heard the Declaration of Independence read publicly for the first time. Most of the statue was later melted down and turned into musket balls for the Continental Army. Perhaps the rebel version of destroying the Liberty Tree for firewood. The Bowling Green still exists in modern-day New York, and it's home to another statue. The Charging Bull of Wall Street stands just outside the fence. Different time, different icon.
Have you considered the proposal?
I'm unconvinced. To reinforce them would leave New York exposed. It's hard enough maintaining order with our current numbers. Cut in half.
Yet if we do not join with them, they risk defeat. And then what?
Well, they should have come by sea.
Well, they're talking in circles. Well, nothing watching as we are.
Then what do you propose we do? March in there and demand answers?
Well, yes.
Ambush!
Connor? Little help here?
I should be like, do you remember when you left me at that camp? I'll let you do that for a while. There's quite a few of them. Should have said, if you can't handle a couple of British soldiers, I don't think there's any reason having you around.
We'll bring them back to my quarters at Fort George and see what secrets they might share. Really? Well, you'd best get after him then.
You go. I will watch the prisoners.
No, you do it.
Why me?
Because I said so. Now go.
Wonder if he found it odd that the bullets seem to reflect off of me. Dude, nobody's gonna help you. Unfortunately, you're wearing red. Oh, those dogs might. I will come closer. I'll do it. Okay, the red guys might help you out. Caught. I'm gonna walk you down the street
Go to hell!
I
next
said
to
move.
all the redcoats and see what happens.
Wait. I'll tell you anything you want. Anything, only don't make
We just
me go
have
in
some
there.
questions for you.
Cross that threshold and I'm a dead man.
There you are, Connor. I was worried you might have gotten lost. Come along, then.
Well, let's get going, buddy. Would I push him? Oh, yep, there it is. Let's get going, you. I'm sure he'll stop a couple of times. This will be annoying.
What are the British planning?
To march from Philadelphia. That city's finished. New York's the key. They'll double our numbers, push back the rebels.
When do they begin?
2 days from now.
June 18th. I must warn Washington.
You see? That wasn't so very difficult now, was it?
I've told you everything. Now let me go.
Of course. The other two said the same. It must be true.
You killed him. You killed all of them. Why?
They'd have warned the Loyalists.
You could have held him until the fight was done.
What? And waste precious time and money on their care? What would be the point? They'd given up everything they knew. I'll meet you at Valley Forge.
He does have a point.
Has your neighbor damaged your carriage?
As unfortunate as it is, I'd have to say.
Let the firm
You
of
know,
Bacon
yeah,
pursue your legal
Connor's a little
satisfaction.
soft. But I mean, I get why, you know, who wants to kill, and Connor's killing these guys willy-nilly all the time. Alright, Valley Forge, here we go. Broken trust.
We should be sharing what we know with Lee, not Washington.
You seem to think I favor him, but my enemy is a notion, not a nation. It is wrong to compel obedience, whether to the British crown or the Templar cross. And I hope in time the Loyalists will see this too, for they are also victims.
You oppose tyranny, injustice. These are just symptoms. Their true cause is human weakness. Why do you think I keep on trying to show you the error of your way?
You have said much, yes, but you have shown me nothing.
Then we'll have to remedy that then, won't we?
Sir,
Hello, Connor. What brings you here?
the British have recalled their men in Philadelphia. They march for New York.
Very well. I'll move our forces to Monmouth. If we can rout them, we'll have finally turned the tide.
And what's this?
Private
Oh, of
correspondence.
course it is. Would you like to know what it says, Connor? It seems your good friend here has just ordered an attack on your village. Although attack might be putting it mildly. Well, tell him, Commander.
We've been receiving reports of Allied natives working with the British. I've asked my men to put a stop to it.
By burning their villages and salting the land, by calling for their extermination, according to this letter. Not the first time either. Tell them what you did 14 years ago.
That was another time. The 7 Years' War.
And so now you see what happens to this great man when under duress. He makes excuses, displaces blame, does a great many things, in fact, except take responsibility!
Enough! Who did what and why must wait. My people come first.
Then let's be off.
No. You and I are finished.
Son.
Do you think me so soft that by calling me son, I might change my mind? How long did you sit on this information, or am I to believe you discovered it now? My mother's blood may stain another's hands, but Charles Lee is no less a monster, and all he does by your command. A warning to you both. Choose to follow me or oppose me, and I will kill you.
In Haytham's defense, he told you that wasn't by his order. Alright, here we go. Well, that makes slightly more sense. It seems the Templars weren't behind burning of Connor's village. You can thank George Washington for that. I'm guessing that part of Washington's military career didn't make it into the history books. But then, so many things didn't. We actually have a few more here. Update for George. Drew Washington's lack of skill didn't go unremarked either. Charles Lee lost faith in him completely, never going quite so far to disobey Washington's orders, but not follow them promptly either. Then in 1777 and 78, Washington had to defend himself against the Conway Cabal, which threatened to replace him with General Horatio Gates. However, Washington's strength lay in politics, and leading the army was as much about politics as it was about winning battles. Washington had to negotiate between the varying interests of the army, the individual colonies, and Congress, and not just for instructions on how to wage the war, but also for basic supplies for the troops. By all accounts, he must have been extremely patient trying to get politicians to give you anything is like trying to get a dog to give up a bone. Actually, my money would be on the dogs, who will occasionally listen to reason. Whatever the criticism of Washington's military strengths, the bottom line is that he won eventually. When the revolution ended, he was the unanimous choice for president, a credit to the fact that he managed to both win the war and not alienate anyone in Congress. Of course, if you're looking for something to criticize Washington for, you don't have to look far. He ordered a total ruin of indigenous settlements during the Sullivan expedition. Not to mention, he was a plantation owner, which meant he owned more than 200 slaves. And while, yes, he did provide for them being freed after both he and his wife were dead, and wouldn't need them anymore, I don't really consider that particularly altruistic. Oh, am I ending on a low note? Sorry. I'm here to teach you history, not soothe your sense of national pride. The Sullivan expedition, date June to September 1779, was Washington's response to several raids by British and Iroquois groups along the northern frontier. Forces under Joseph Brant and John Butler had attacked forts and settlements in the Wyoming and Cherry valleys, killing and scalping women and children as well as militia. Washington's orders were very clear. In order to root out the problem, Sullivan was to attack and burn as many Iroquois settlements as he could find, and take as many prisoners as he could. Sullivan complied, burning 40 Iroquois villages and destroying an estimated 160,000 bushels of corn. His troops also answered previous atrocities with their own, scalping bodies and burning people alive in cabins. Sullivan didn't limit his troops to active enemies either. He also attacked the Onondaga, who had stayed neutral during the war. This attack had the unsurprising effect of making the Onondaga into enemies of the Patriots. In the end, the Sullivan expedition failed to stop raids in the area. Those continued throughout the Revolution, as each side sought to get revenge for the violence of the other. The repeated attacks on both sides eventually laid waste to the entire Kainenkeha territory, also known as the Mohawk Valley, and the land around it. Possibly because of the Sullivan expedition, George Washington became known amongst the Iroquois as the Town Destroyer. Although the origin of the nickname is historically contested, he might have already earned it destroying towns during the French and Indian War. Now, there's the mark of a great statesman. It's hard to tell when he got a reputation for scorched earth policies because he did so much of it. So all that being said, he's such a bad guy and this and that, and I'm not defending him, whatever, in completely. I mean, it's wrong, but you know, he had to make a choice on certain things, and he made a choice. Whether it was wrong or right, it's the past, and we have to learn from that. Yeah, I mean, it was wrong. You know, you need to do some investigation before you go and burn down villages and stuff. Isaac Potts House. This was George Washington's headquarters during the winter of 1777. The house was owned by Isaac Potts. It's a simple country house in the ever-popular Georgian style. The President of Congress wrote that Washington lives himself in a hut. That's a little temporary cabin, such as one inhabited by the poorest boor, which is exaggeration bordering on slander. Washington lived in a tent for his first week at Valley Forge, but then moved into the Potts house with his entourage. The rest of his soldiers were housed in temporary log cabins built around the valley. However, this house isn't exactly the lap of luxury. The rooms are small, and it would have been cramped quarters for the military meetings that took place here. And the 25 people who ate, worked, and slept inside. It must have been like an 18th century frat house. It said amongst Washington's greatest achievements was the invention of beer pong. Yeah, right. Anyway, the house is a compromise between Washington's need to convey the image of a leader, but not place himself too far above the people he leads. Alright, so our job is to stop the natives from, or stop these guys from killing our friends. So we need to go and do that as fast as possible. You returned, but why? I thought you would be with the other man. What other man? Boiling water. The one called Charles Lee. He took Kane and Tolkien and a few of the others with him. What? Where have they gone? To push back those who would take our land. No, this is wrong. Why are you troubled? Is this not what you wanted? For us to take a stand? I have to go now. I need to stop them. Peace. Come to kill me yourself. What? Charles Lee told me everything. The Patriots seek to destroy us, and you would aid them. That man is a liar. He said you had been corrupted, that you would try to deceive, but here they are on our doorstep. What say you to that? It is a mistake. The only mistake is trusting you would help to keep us safe. They have seduced you, and you are turned against your own kind. Stop. I will when you are dead. Hadouken! No, bestie. My passing wins you nothing. Charles Lee rides for Monmouth to reveal the Patriots' plan. The Loyalists will destroy them. The revolution will be ended. The crown victorious, our people safe. These our people will never be safe. You are resting now, my friend. Poor guy. Believed it. Even in death. But no, I agree with Connor there. If the British were to have gotten their way, eventually the same thing would have happened. Maybe not as vicious, I would say. I don't know if that's the right word, but maybe not the same way. Of course, after Connor left to become an assassin, he and his old friend drifted apart. Sometimes that can happen when one of you becomes an assassin, and they formed rather different views of how their village should participate in the war. While Kanan Tolkien originally supported Connor's idea that the village should stay neutral, after seeing the protection offered by other nations by both British and French, he began to reconsider. Eventually, he argued for the villages joining the war, generally on the side of the British, the allies of many other Kanan Kehaka. Their disagreement came to a head when Kanan Tolkien confronted Connor with the knowledge that his loyalist allies had planned an attack on their village. In the ensuing fight, Connor was forced to kill his friend. So annoying when that happens. What troubles you? Kanan Tolkien is dead. What happened? I cannot say for certain. There's talk amongst other nations of moving west, away from the war. Perhaps it is time we consider such a thing. No, we stay. This is our home. But for how much longer, and at what cost? I will make it safe. Oh, my child, we cannot change what is to come. Though we might abandon this land, we will not abandon our ways. We carry home in our hearts. Please, you must wait a little more. Time is all I need. Must speak with the others. I will see what can be done. That's all she has to say. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Doesn't matter what he did, you know. They were going to be pushed away anyways. Anyways, yeah, that's, they kind of got the raw end of that deal, of any deal. And when they didn't take the deal, they were forced into it. Anyways, we're going to end this episode right now. I'd like to thank you all for watching. And like, comment, subscribe, bell, all the buttons, just all of it. You know, just go ahead. And bye now.